You know, that's
There are no ladies in here.
there. Hey, Stacy, we haven't met. My name is Steve.
Hi,
There
Steve.
are. Hold on, let me put my camera on.
Hey, Stacy, they told me you were handling. You got enough speed for all the girls.
Hey,
Okay.
Got it.
You're handling all the speed quota for everyone.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
we're still working. Okay,
We're good.
so quick heads up with Soprano, they're just getting on their iPad, so they'll be plugged in just a second. And Stacy, we haven't met. My name is Steve.
Hi, Steve.
It's
Nice to meet
not
you.
likewise. It's not like we haven't invited women on here. My wife is actually tuned in, so she's on here
Okay,
somewhere.
we'll get her in here. All right.
And then let's see. Darcel Mitten Woods, she's supposed to be dialing in. Meg Lewis is also supposed to be, coming in. So, we got a few on here. Yeah.
Where's Marie Dwight? I couldn't find her.
No, where's Oval?
You know something? Well, since we're on a group chat, I won't share my experience, but I was in Florida. I was working in Florida, and I reached out to Marie Dwyer, and I'm like, hey, we gotta connect. And first of all, she said, who are you? So let's start there.
That's
Let's start there. So I'm like, Marie, I know I took you underneath my wing. We got years between us. And she said, who are you? Okay.
Oh boy.
So let's just start right there. All right. So
I agree with you, Steve.
There they go.
Look at Soprano.
oh wow, all right. Awesome. Okay. All right. So
Look at him.
okay, so real quickly, guys, just so we can have some order, there are a couple of ways to do this. But since we all know each other, I think we can get the order down. One thing, we can mute everybody, which, I don't want to do that. We can mute everyone, and when you raise your hand and you can speak, or, we'll follow the agenda, and then that way that will keep everyone tight. I think the latter will work. Fair enough?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. Okay. All right, so let's go on and get started here. How you doing, Coach? Oh, some you guys are on mute. So Valerie, you're still on mute. Bottom left.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. How's it going, Valerie? The last time I saw you, you were on the sideline. It's been a minute. Okay.
I'm still on the sidelines.
Okay.
Gary, last time I saw you, your last name was Deal.
It was big deal.
Big deal.
It was a big deal. If you're gonna say it, get it right, man. All right. So, okay. So, what we're doing here now, Coach, I know some of what we're doing here is a surprise to you. You probably thought you were just going to come on and talk to a couple of folks. You haven't seen the National Athletes and Coaches Hall of Fame. You haven't seen any of this stuff. You just thought you were just coming on to say hey to a couple of old teammates. But so what we've done, and I'll kind of give everybody the backstory of how this got started. So Conrad McCutcheon, who you see up top, well, I'm not sure where he is on your screen. Okay.
I'm right here.
Okay, so
Hi, Conrad.
so Conrad reached out. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. So Conrad reached out and he says, "Hey, we got to do something for Coach Soprano." Well, let's put it in context. That was 4 years ago. So every year we're talking about what are we going to do? We're thinking about, do we surprise him in South Carolina? Do we do it here in Atlanta because it's kind of centrally located? We do it up in New Hampshire. Where do we do it? So we talked about this year after year after year, and then COVID hit. Okay. Nobody's going anywhere. Okay.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So Conrad, we were speaking and said, well, why don't we just do it via Zoom? We do it via Zoom. It's, no one, everyone can get access. And, that's one of the pluses is that COVID has caused a lot of damage, obviously, but it's also created vehicles to bring us closer together. All right. So we decided to do it via Zoom. So we went in and we planned and we strategized and we planned and strategized for 4 days. All right. 4 days ago. Okay. 4 or 5 days ago. We put it all together. Okay. And now here we are. So, Coach, just as we get started here, I don't know if you can see there's a flyer that we put together, and we also have a surprise for you, which we're going to put that towards the end. All right. But we put together a flyer. We blasted this out to everybody. And as you know, I had an opportunity to interview you a few days ago. Of course, you didn't know it was an interview, but it was an interview. Okay. And
So it's 30 questions.
that's right. I had all those questions. It was an interview to find out a little bit more about you and your amazing coaching career that you had. And there were so many things for me personally that I learned for the first time that made it all make sense. It just clicked and put everything together. So for everybody, I'm just going to read through the National Athletes Coaches Hall of Fame established 2021 for this first event. On the flyer, we have, we're going to honor Coach Soprano for his 44-year coaching legacy at in Rochelle, New York, from 1958 to 2002, which produced multiple, now I have multiple here, then I found out later it was 30 plus, okay? 30 plus sectional, county, state, and regional championship teams. Right off the bat, that's just off the chain, as they would say. And a plethora of collegiate athletes that went on scholarship from local college, junior college, all the way up to Division I, across the board. You paved the way and created opportunities for so many of us. In 1975, Coach Soprano led one of the country's best high school track programs that was ranked #1 in the nation indoors and number 2 in the nation outdoors. I didn't know this until like a year ago, and I was on the team. Right. But that was by Track and Field News. Track and Field News ranked us #1 and #2 in the country. There it is right there. Look at Farrell face. He's got it right there. There he's got the shirt up.
Does it stay thick?
There it is. Okay. And as a Manhattan College athlete, now this is what I didn't know about Coach Soprano. As a Manhattan College athlete, he ran the fastest time in the nation in the 1,000-yard race. Wow. And there's a photo finish of that race. And I think the fastest time was a shared time, correct? Would that be accurate?
I only remember it being the fastest time. I don't know if it was shared. I didn't read it in the Track and Field News or anything. So
okay, got it. There's you could tell the story, so you have plenty of time to do anything that you want on here. All right. So and then moving forward, he placed second in the IC4A championship. I think it was to a guy that came over here from Italy, right?
No, he came from Ireland.
I got everything's wrong. Okay, from Ireland.
Ron Delaney.
You said Tom Delaney?
Ron Delaney.
Ron Delaney, okay. And then Coach also ran on the Manhattan College's world record 2-mile relay team. He had a 1:49 split way back in 1958, just crazy. But he did also share with me that they had a mile relay team that was disqualified. And they too had set the world record. And Coach Soprano ran a 47.6 on the grass. All right, so you're talking 1958. So just so much I didn't know about Coach Soprano. But then when you think about the teams that we've had and the type of training that we received, it all makes sense, right? It connects all the dots.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to move myself out of the way, and we're going to bring on our first speaker. We're going to bring on Mr. Jim Leary. He's going to take the mic. I'll be silent. All right, go ahead, Jim.
Thank you, guys. Greetings from Denver, Colorado.
Still out there.
I got chills seeing everybody on this call, and it's a true honor to be here. But I put some thoughts together about good old Coach Soprano. Coach, you weren't just a track coach. You proved to thousands of young athletes that you were a life coach as well. I'm going to explain that here in a bit. some of the lessons Coach Soprano and Coach Henry taught us were not necessarily like at the time we didn't understand them truly at the time they were taught, but they sure as heck surfaced, at least for me, as I grew older. Coaches have the opportunity to provide athletes with meaningful moments that naturally evolve into a lifetime of learning. And look at the friendships we have here on this phone today. They broke the mold when it came to Joe Soprano. The support, knowledge, enthusiasm, and passion that Coach Soprano brought to the track each and every day has made us all better people. If I may, I'm going to cite an example of one of the many lessons that Coach Soprano taught me. It was about a 15 to 20 degree day out on that damn board track. And we were preparing for the Section 1 indoor championships at West Point. It was butt cold that day. Coach Soprano concocted some pretty intense workout for me and the distance guys that were running in the sectionals. The workout for the skinny distance runner was to run 20 220s at pretty much all out speed for a guy who had no speed. The first 5 220s went great. I started to feel it a little in the next 5. Numbers 11 to 15, rigor mortis was setting in. Then I made it halfway through number 16, and whatever I ate for breakfast and lunch was in liquid form on that wooden track. As I took a couple of deep breaths, I saw Coach Soprano coming toward me. I said to myself, sweet, he's going to give me a hall pass. He's going to feel bad for me. He's going to let me put my sweats on. He comes up to me, Larry, how you feeling? All he had to do is look at me, and he got an answer to that question. I said, feeling a little shaky, but I'll be okay. He said, yeah, you'll be okay. Go grab something, clean off that track, and you are finishing this workout. I thought it was like the appearance of the devil that showed up in front of me that day. I thought he was so evil, making me finish that workout. Now move ahead to the Section 1 championships. And I surprised even myself in winning the 1,000-yard run at West Point, a race I wasn't familiar with, but Coach prompted me to run that race. He provided me with the confidence, support, training, and a well-thought-out strategy. As soon as I crossed the finish line of that 1,000-yard run, I thought of one person, and it was you, Coach, Joe Soprano. It was all worth it from that day in the bitter cold. What Coach Soprano taught me on that freezing day was that pride does last longer than pain, and hard work does pay off, and not giving up is vital. You know, having the right people around us in high school years is really significant. We're the persons we are today because of people like Coach Soprano that have helped us along the way. If it weren't for Coach Soprano that believed in us, he pushed us and encouraged us, we would have never grown so fond of a sport. If you think about it, guys and gals, that changed our lives forever, both on and off track and field. I still think about track and instilled lessons to not only my kids, but the people I work with. Some of the greatest moments remembered while at Rochelle High School were those shared by coaches, teammates, families, and fans. And on a quick note, as I put these thoughts together in my head for today's talk, we can't forget like the loyal fans that we had that followed us. How about Don and Doris MacArthur?
Yeah.
That's that guy had. And Doris writing poems about us as we went to the state meet. Another special person in those glory years was the famous and always gracious Miss Deal. Hey, I was Coach Soprano's doghouse probably more than anybody on this team. I thought at times, how the hell am I going to get out of this doghouse? What was my strategy? I'd always seek the advice of Miss Deal. I would diplomatically ask her,
Say that you're second coach.
Words for the stretch of a man. It seemed to work. If it wasn't for her, I swear, I think I'd still be sitting in that doghouse. Think about it, guys. It's 46 years this year from that championship season. 46.
Wow.
The great memories from those years are now flooding back. And I want to thank one person for that. opening the floodgates of this, and that's Steve Struther. If it wasn't for Steve, we would not be here today. So I want to give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Deserve all the credit. And for the record, I think that's the first time I ever paid Steve Struther a compliment. That's last.
Well, thank you, Larry. Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate it. Me and Conrad worked really hard on this, and I got to tell you, I can't. Since this is since we're recording at some point, and our kids will listen to this. Let me just say, Jim Leary gave me a nickname on the team, and it started with a P, and it ended with a Y. Okay, so.
Well, I in closing, I'd like to say
that was my nickname that Jim Leary gave me. Okay.
The memories of the experiences we all had are forever. We're forever members of the Rochelle High School track and field fraternity, and we're a lucky bunch. So, Coach Soprano, thank you. Thank you for all you've done, for all the lessons you taught us, and for all the great accomplishments that you brought the city of New Rochelle and New Rochelle High School. You truly were like a master chess player in my mind. You took all the different pieces and personalities, like the Farrell Facies of the world. Geez, that guy's real. A working team, a championship team. Thank you for all the hours that you spent with us on and off the track. You built up our strength and minimized our weaknesses, and you always be a winner in our book. And I just want to say it's an honor to be here and given the opportunity to talk today. You made a difference, Coach, and I thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you a lot. I always remember some of your great races. Steeplechase. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the steeplechase got me into college, got me my scholarship.
There you go.
And the only practice I got on it was at meets because we didn't have steeple. We didn't have
That's right.
We didn't have that hurdle or the water jump.
I found out what those Art Monk at White Plains High School, after I won it at White Plains one year, Art Monk told me that the entire team used to urinate in that pool.
I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
That's funny. Okay.
That's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Definitely. Okay. Next up, we have Bobby Stockslager. Bobby, you may want to share with everyone that, because a lot of people that don't know you from, years that came behind us, who you are and what you did. I should have done that with Jim as well. And you got the floor.
No problem. Thank you. I graduated in 1975, and I was actually one of the captains of those championship teams that Jim so eloquently talked about. And Jim so much well said stuff, which I won't repeat, but I certainly agree with and concur with. But my special personal story is that I've had the pleasure of knowing Coach Soprano for most of my life. He was my elementary gym teacher at Jefferson Elementary School. And so we're talking in the 60s. And a couple of years later, I joined the track team, cross country and track team at New Rochelle. And all those stories that went through. Through college, we remained in touch. After college, I became a psychologist and a track coach at Ketchum High School in Section 1. So I coached against Coach Soprano, and actually several of you ran track at that time while I was coaching up at Ketchum High School. Coach Soprano and Valerie, we've remained in touch. I've been to their house in South Carolina there, and we've always had a wonderful relationship. And I truly believe that Coach Soprano has always been a father figure to me for all of those years. And I've told him before that how much I love him for that. And I truly believe so much of what I am today is because of what he did for me and the lessons I learned with him, even going back to when he called me a meatball. I think it was in 4th grade at Jefferson Elementary School, and made me put gum on my head because we were chewing gum in his class, his ed class. But in all seriousness aside, joking aside, you know, Coach, I love you. I've told you that before. You've been a big part of my life, my family's life. My mother, who's 92 here now in Sarasota still. My kids, you know, Justin, Jane, Kevin. So Valerie, we keep in touch with cards and stuff. And in addition to all the things that Jim said, you know, the family personal stuff, it means so much and you know, is truly very important to me. So again, another very well-deserved honor to you, and congratulations and love you dearly.
Thank you. Bobby, did I steal you from baseball?
You did.
I saw this
Actually-
boy playing. I said, what's this baseball thing?
Yeah. Yeah, actually,
I
Lou
love
Amazon,
baseball also, Bob.
yeah, Lou Amazon saw me run around the lakes and he said, I have to introduce you to Coach Soprano. I keep saying Coach Stocksticker. And I never played another sport again. But it was probably the best decision I made in my life because all of the things that followed after, including meeting my wife in college and coaching an Olympian, and I had a silver medalist in the 2012 London Games, all started because I chose a career with track and field, and there were a lot of lessons that followed.
I thank you, Bobby. And I know that you had a great 2-mile relay team that I was proud of also.
We did, and
Besides
Farrell's here.
yourself.
He was a part of that. Larry King, I guess, couldn't be here today. Joel Everlard, I'm not sure where he's at, but Jim Leary ran with us at times as well. Those were some of the best times of our lives. Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. I appreciate you too.
Hey,
Thank you very
awesome.
much.
Hopefully we'll get together when this stuff all settles down.
We
Go out
better,
on your pontoon boat.
we better.
I was just wondering where you're right. I just never wondered how we get everybody together. And I think this is a terrific way. You know, I mean, really, I'm seeing people that I haven't seen in so long, and this is great. This is terrific. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Thank you, Bobby. Okay. Next up, we have Jerry Whitted. Now, I said this early on. We had some set folks that are going to speak, but as we get past the speakers, we're going to have an opportunity for everybody to chime in. So that was just format wise. We didn't know who was going to be here or anything like that. So everyone will have an opportunity to say their piece. All right, Jerry Whitted, you're on.
Greetings, Coach Soprano.
Hello, Jerry.
How you doing, Jerry?
A lot of people here I don't know. I'm Jerry Whitted. I too was a part of that 1975 state championship team. And how do I, follow two class acts like Jim and Bob? You said something, Jim, that really hit home with me about Coach Soprano being more than a track coach. You were a molder of men, you really molded me because for the old so know, I was just a football player. I was just running track to stay in shape. That's what I was known. I was the super soft in 10th grade. I started off the first freshman to start in Iona game, so I was pretty high on my horse. But Coach Soprano had a way of bringing me down off of that. And I thank you for that. A lot of you don't know. I always wanted a break after the football season. And Coach Soprano would never give it to me. He said, you coming out, you got to practice with everybody. And I rebelled as much as I could. He said, no basketball. I was playing basketball, and that was a no-no. And one day I was up at the gym. I don't know if you remember this. I'm shooting baskets, and he came up there and he caught me. And for that week, I was no longer on the track team. I was suspended. I said, suspending me? And that humbled me. That really humbled me, and I knew that I had to get my act together. I had to grow up, and I had to be accountable to others, not just to myself, that this was a team. And everybody on that 1975 team, we all have a connection. Bobby and I, when we speak to each other, we say, I love you. I connected with Farrell not too long ago. and we all have that bond. You know, it's just a spirit among us because we work hard. We worked hard, and Coach Soprano gave us the freedom to work amongst each other because he knew he wasn't playing checkers like everybody else. He's playing chess. He knew where to move the pieces and to make them work because our relay team, our 880 relay team, we ran pin, ran all over. And then we had a hard time of finishing and carrying the baton. And I'll never forget this. We had a dual meeting in City Park. He said, if you guys don't make it through, you guys drop the baton and mess this up, that's it. And the rest of that is history. We made sure that we did our sticks right. We would work out on Sundays. I don't know, remember that, Steve? We would get together on Sundays. We worked out 7 days a week. And Coach Soprano made one substitute, took one person out and put another one in. And it's been glory ever since then. All four of us, the tight Willie, we haven't spoken to. But Derek, Stephen, and I, we've been still very close. And that showed me teamwork. I preached that to my kids. I was a social worker for 20 years in New York City. I preached that to all my clients, the process of teamwork and working hard and taking first steps, the little things, technique. And that all applies in life. I worked for Fortune 500 companies, and I instill all those teachings in my work and my relationships. And I attributed all that to running track, not football. I'm known for football, but not football, but for track. And I thank you for that, Coach Soprano.
Thank you too. I wouldn't let you get away because you had a lot of talent. And when I see talent, I like to keep it, hold on to it. I'm very stingy that way.
Yeah, also, I got to bring this up, Steve. I think I'm the only person to run with a cast on, and he let me do it, right?
That's right.
I ran with a cast on.
I remember.
They dubbed me the cast man, and it was the quarter-mile relay. Thank God for that, because all you need is one hand. You don't switch it with time.
You don't switch
it.
Get down.
That's right. And it was my left hand, so he staggered the order. Steve was the anchor man, and how you gonna beat that? Me going to Steve. Steve never had to run down anybody. Not once. He never had to run down anybody. And so he was around the front championship. And that gold medal that we won, I can remember that day. It was cloudy on that black track. It was drizzling. I could still feel it. And we were behind when I got the baton. We were behind because Willie ate a lot of food in our leadoff man. Ate a big breakfast. Because at Cornell and Ithaca, they feed you good. And Willie loved breakfast. And he was very sick. And I think he was like 5th or 6th. And my heart is pumping. I was 3rd leg. Derek brought his back, and then I got it on the corner of Drilling Store. And all I could hear was Coach Soprano say, "Easy, Jerry, easy, Jerry." The next day, I hit the back straight. And the rest was history. I see Steve, and nobody's catching Steve. We had a thing, we said, our command was get up. That means
get down. That's right.
Get up.
Get down.
And then when I say get down, that's the stick. Right there. And it's a wrap with Steve. And that's all you see is that pretty stride, like Secretariat running around Belmont. And then seeing that gold medal, that's one of the highlights of my life, other than my children in Vietnam. So thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Well done.
And thank you too, Jerry. Thank you.
Awesome, Jerry. Awesome. I got to give just a little filler information, a little background
Steve,
information.
one quick thing, Stacy, you're not the only girl. This is my wife, Jane.
Okay. Awesome.
I appreciate that.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we're gonna definitely. So we're gonna keep it moving. But I want to give just some filler information on the Jerry Whitted story. Jerry talked about he was only playing football. Here's the backstory. I'm a 10th grader. At the time, coach, we needed another relay leg, all right, to solidify our relay. And Jerry Whittick was the person, but he was laying up in the hospital with a cast. So we didn't know each other. So I went to Rochelle Hospital, went to his room, and he had an operation, I believe what it was. Went to his room, introduced myself, and asked him if he could come out and run on the track team. Do you know what he said? I'm retired. He was a senior in high school. It was like, I dare this freshman come walk up in my hospital room. I'm retired. Okay, so anyway, fast forward, was able to convince him to come out, and rest is history. So, but just some backstory stuff there. But before we segue to the next person, some other information I wanted to share about Coach Soprano that I also just learned, which once again connects all the dots and makes all the successful teams in his coaching career make sense, is that his head coach at Manhattan College, what was his name again, Coach?
George Eastman.
George Eastman. Tell him a little bit about George.
Yeah, George Eastman was a coach out in Bishop Auckland, and then became head coach at Manhattan College. Now, I think, I hope that you would realize that I got a lot of my information from my college coach. George Eastman was a great college coach. He and Villanova's coach used to get together a lot. In my senior year in college, he was picked to be an assistant coach for the Olympics in 1960. And I would like to have joined him, but of course, other things got in my way. I won't tell you about that now, but he did a great job. He was a great coach. And I think I learned from him to be patient. And I learned a lot of technique from him. And I think between that, technique and patience and of course, practice. I'm very proud of all of you. You are outstanding people. And if I rubbed off in one way, I hope that you'll always remember as a coach, I loved you all. I know that you did your best for us, and I tried my best to get you into colleges so that you can turn around and coach one day also. And I understand Steve is doing some coaching, and Bobby Stackslager is doing some, Conrad McKethan. Yeah, that to me means a lot. Not only your skill as your runner, as you as a runner, but to pass on that information to the next generation. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So as we're switching gears here, I wanted to just insert a quick story, just really short, just some information. So I went to Auburn University on a full track scholarship. And at that time, when I chose Auburn, I could have gone anywhere in the country. But I went to Auburn, and I quickly learned that my high school coach, now my collegiate coach was I can't remember his name, that's pretty bad, Mel Rosen. Mel Rosen was the Olympic relay coach, and he went on to be the Olympic head coach. But he couldn't hold a candle to Joe Soprano. The workouts that we did at Auburn University just would not touch what we did at New Rochelle. I mean, it was just head and shoulders. I didn't understand it, but I knew it. Even my freshman year, it's like, God, these workouts are just not, they're not pulling it out of me. They're not really, pushing. But then fast forward, now I understand with the pedigree of Coach Soprano and the kind of workouts that he did and the foundation that was built on, that he was just next level. And that's why at New Rochelle High School, the teams had so much success. So just want to add that. All right, so next up, we have Mr. Conrad McCutcheon. Montgomery. I mean, I got like 4 names for you. Which one is it, brother? Okay.
Conrad McKethan.
Okay.
What's up, people? Conrad McKethan and class of 1981. I am blessed to be a part of the Coach Soprano, New Rochelle, Huguenot family, and not just as an athlete, but I am part of that conversation that Coach Soprano just mentioned, passing down the baton to the next generation as a coach. And that I'm very thankful for, which is one of the reasons I've been dying to make this connection happen over the years. Coach Soprano and I have met in many organic ways, starting from the time that I too was passionate about baseball in Albert Leonard. And Albert Leonard cut baseball that year, so track was introduced to me and became my passion in 7th grade. And I fell in love with it. I'm a football athlete as well. I pretty much play all the sports, but track became my passion. Somehow by 9th grade, still at Albert Leonard, Coach Soprano found myself and another guy named Gary Jackson and was called up to the varsity relay. And I had no idea how that happened. It brought me around all the athletes that were speaking to before me and from the class of the 70s. I must say that by me falling in love with track and living around the corner from New Rochelle High School, I had a chance to see practices from the fence. But since the practices were closed, I had to sneak my way in there as a kid and hide under the bleachers. And I was watching Steve and all of you class of 70s kids, the athletes that look like grown men. You guys look like college athletes to me back then. And it was very intimidating, especially being called up as a 9th grader to be on the relay team. But Coach Soprano had a confidence in me that I didn't even see. It carried me through my own high school years, working with some of the best athletes from Marvin Bernard, Loxley Fairweather, Uwanta Williams. I see him on here. Marty Taylor. I mean, these are guys that I was introduced to as a kid that became my mentors, that pretty much started because of Coach Soprano's trusting my ability as an athlete. Coming out of that phase after graduating college, where I went to University of Maryland, and after graduating and coming back to the program just to work out, Soprano asked me to help out as a coach. I didn't see that. I was a young, recent graduate from college, 22 years old. I didn't want to be bothered with any kids, especially at that time, middle school kids were coming into the high school because their programs were cut off. We had just lost Coach Henry. At that time, Coach Henry just passed away, and Soprano he said he could use some help, and he trusted that I could help out in that way. I didn't see it, but I did so. I said, I'll give you a week. I was kind of a little cocky, but I got thrown a whole lot of responsibilities in a short time. And because of that introduction to the kids who are now the 90s graduate, I got addicted really quickly to coaching. And we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of success in a short time. And I'm very thankful to be able to be that baton, passing on the one to carry into the next generation, because as Steve said, it's all about that pedigree and it's all about what you're passing down. It's not what you do as an athlete. As a coach, it's another thing that you're passing down. There's stories, Coach Soprano, that you don't even know. That we can make a reality show about. I mean, seriously. But the athletes that I was blessed to be able to coach by your trust, I'm very thankful for, because it gave me the start of what I did not see. And now I have 20 plus years of coaching behind my belt, not just in New York, but in Los Angeles, and now here in Oregon. And because of what I learned from you, I've been blessed to have success in each of those states. And the stories that we're sharing right now, and the fraternity, the camaraderie, the family bonding, that's track and field. And to be able to pass down the qualities of life through sport is a blessing. And using track as an analogy is something that I pass down now to my athletes, because it's the simple layout. You got an oval with a start and an ending, and what you do and how you pace yourself in the middle is totally up to you. And how you pace yourself is going to determine how your finish is going to be. That's life. And we can look at track as a model of life. And some of these athletes that are on this connection now know what I'm talking about, because we've had experiences of having to transfer life experiences through sport. Again, that's another conversation and another reality show that could have several chapters attached to them. But I'm very thankful for you. For every time I get complimented as a coach, everywhere I've been blessed to work with some of the, not just the best athletes in the country, but in the world, because I've coached with some world-class athletes. Don't need to be named. We've already had those conversations in private, but I've been blessed, and I didn't see this journey happening. You did. I didn't. You saw this, and I'm still here doing it. And I appreciate you, and I continue to think about you every time I get complimented as a coach. So that's all I got to say, and I will continue passing on the baton to the next generation and being a part of the pedigree that I learned from you. So thank you so much.
Very well said.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Conrad. Okay, so we're going to go on and have just a couple of more people speak, and then I'm going to queue up this video that I've been working on the entire time. Okay. And we're going to let that rip. So I'm sure, I mean, I know most of the people on here that speak from the heart and are well-spoken. I'm sure you guys would like to chime in and make some comments. Stacy, not to put you on the spot, but you are representing all the ladies right now. Okay.
Okay.
One of the first.
Thank you for that.
I think Joe was going to, Coach was going to say something.
Go for it. Sorry.
No, I just going to say, Stacy, you were one of the first ladies on the team, and you certainly made a mark for yourself. I'm proud of you too.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And you have stayed really beautiful.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you.
You look like she can still run them sprint circuits.
I cannot run at all. I can barely walk from all the stuff that I did, but I just wanted to say, Soprano, I'm just so, when Conrad told me about this, I just smiled. I just remember you just always being so kind to me. And I just always remember your smile and just so encouraging. And as Jim said earlier, I mean, you have really inspired so many, it has to be thousands of men, and just truly changed their life. And I think that, you know, as a child going through the track program, you don't really realize it. You take it for granted, all of the time and effort that people like you put into all of these young children. But I just want to say thank you. And again, just not really realizing it at the time, but really seeing it now as an adult, how truly tremendous that time and effort has been for so many young lives. I mean, you've really changed a number of people, and I'm just so glad to know that I knew you, that I know you. You guys look so wonderful and so great. I was looking forward to this for so long, but I'm just so happy to be here and to see everybody. And again, just everyone on this call is your legacy, and you've just done so much. And I just want to say thank you.
And I want to say thank you also. That was very nice. Thank you. And it's true. I think everyone knows that, and this is true in life. You never know what you're going to get, but you're going to have to give it your best. And I hope that through the practices that we had, and the no pain, no gain, and pain less, you know, your efforts.
Pride less.
Pride. Thank you. Pride lasts longer than pain. I almost went the other way with it. I hope your successes are as great as the ones I'm feeling right now. Thank you.
Mm.
And just what Steve said, real quick, Steve, just what you had said about how your coach at Auburn had all the accolades and titles, but he had nothing on soprano. During those years with, you know, me being trusted with Stacy, and she went on to Maryland, she too was reaching back to me for the workouts that we were doing to get what she had back. And that's, again, a sign of respect to you, soprano, that, you know, Steve from the 70s had to be looking back to you for some extra stuff. And, you know, Stacy coming out of the 90s, you got 2 state champions bookend on different ends. And, you know, they're coming back to New Rochelle to get information. So that says a lot.
Thank you. Very good.
Okay, so now I'm gonna put this next person on the spot. If someone doesn't raise their hand, I grew up in the neighborhood with Stanley Lord, and I've never known him to be quiet about anything.
Nothing.
Oh, boy.
You're on, Stanley. You're on. Go ahead, my brother.
Coach Soprano. How you doing, sir? I haven't seen you since we last beat you in the track meet.
There's
There you go, the Lord,
another guy that
brothers.
came through the program, went on to coach a team, and what did he do? He turned around and wanted to beat me. Came to New Rochelle to run against us.
I couldn't wait to bring my team down. He kept every time he turned around, there's more kids coming off the bus. It's like, what do you got here? I don't got that many kids. It was just a scrimmage meet, but it was a lot of fun. One story was I had opportunity to go, I guess, to do some acting on off Broadway, and I decided not to come to practice that week, and I was going to go do some acting, and we had a meet on Saturday morning, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, somebody comes banging on my door at the house. I'm knocked out, and my sister says, "Who?" She said, she come down, your coach is downstairs. I said, what do he want?
I want that body to come and join us.
He said, we got to meet. I said, he said, no, you're not going to ruin your life. You're going to get your butt here on the track. I ain't been all week. I ain't been to practice all week. Now I had to run the 600. I ran the 600, broke this floor record that day, puked my guts out, and then had to go back and run the 4x4. That was the first and the last time I puked after I ran. But Coach, you have been really an inspiration to all of us. And yes, I did fashion my workouts to yours, and my kids would to this day call me for workouts. And my workouts were soprano workouts. I mean, let's be real. And my rules were soprano rules. You could not ask what the workout was. If you came in last and you lagged, everybody else had to suffer.
Do it again.
Do it again. There you go. Don't count. That don't count. So yeah, we really appreciate you and all that you have meant to all of us as young men. We didn't realize
when he dropped the baton.
Yeah.
What you were doing, but you had a plan. And the plan.
I know I saw Stuart's name also.
Stuart's here too.
Yeah.
Stuart just got in
Yeah,
there.
there you go. How you doing,
You
Stuart?
Stuart.
Stuart, you gotta chime in. Now, I've known Stuart and Stanley since kindergarten, and they never back down from nothing. Okay. Both of them amazing 400-meter runners. I think Stuart also ran the 200. Just rocked it. Stuart, do you have any comments you want to make?
Good evening, Coach. How you doing?
Doing great, thank you.
Great. It's a pleasure to be here and see everyone, and to know the impact you had on our lives, the life you had on my life. And, you know, I've gone on to do several things, but it's because of the foundation that you helped lay in my life around don't quit. And so when things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're trudging seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, and you want to smile but have to sigh. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. Life is queered with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns, and many a failure turned about. When he might have won and he stuck it out. So stick to the fight with your hardest hit. It's when things get rough that you mustn't quit. And Coach Soprano, you were a mentor. You laid the foundation, strong values of hard work and staying in the fight and not giving up. And we're here today because of the seeds you planted in us. Not only the seeds that you planted in us, but we went on to plant those same seeds in our children and the next generation. And so you live on in us, and you live on in our children, and you live on in our friends. And thank you for being a coach of character, being a coach of determination, being a coach of love. And thank you for creating a family for all of us. And we appreciate all you've done. And we salute you today and give you the keys to our heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Stu. Thank you so much.
Well spoken.
Well said. Yeah, well said.
Okay, so as I'm still buying time on this video, had to republish it again. Now I've never known Reginald Franklin to be a man of few words. Okay. Chime in, Reginald. Reginald's done some amazing things too. He's a master architect. He worked on the I think not LaGuardia, but the Kennedy Airport project as a master architect. Go ahead.
Yes, Steve. I've always been shy. But one time, and I spent most of my time actually with Mr. Henry, doing the high jump. So my interactions with Mr. Soprano were very limited. But one lesson that he did give me, and it really stuck with me really all my life. I too was playing basketball, and Mr. Soprano saw that I was playing basketball, and he told me, "You're no longer on the track team. I want you to hand in your purple." I forgot when, but I had to hand them in. And it was at that moment where I realized at that moment how important track was to me. And I'm around superstars here. I'm around, as we say, I'm around legends. I'm around Rochelle track team legends. But my heart was always, with the team and being a member of the team. And when I had to give those sweats back, I can't even put it into words. I can't even really explain what it felt like giving him those sweats. And so a few days, I don't know how long went back, but he gave me the opportunity to basically come back and beg him for those sweats.
I remember that day.
Yeah, and but that was a lesson, because that just taught me that, wow, I really want to be on this team. So I came back. I mean, really, my heart pumping, not thinking that he's going to let me, be back on the team. And when he gave me back those purples, all I could say is that I can't even put it into words, but when he gave me those purples, it just meant to me that, wow, this is one of the most important things to me, being a part of this track team. So thank you for that. We had limited interaction, Mr. Soprano, but thank you for that life lesson.
Thank you.
Nice.
Awesome.
Glad you came back.
Hey, thank you, Reggie, for letting me off the hook. I thought I was the only one that had that.
Right. Soprano's probably, he's playing out on all you guys. Okay, all right. Let me see. Let me
Right here.
leave him on the hook for a little while and then take him off. All right. Farrell. Okay, Farrell's up. Farrell face.
I'm a man of
Farrell
few
face.
words.
Oh, sorry about that.
I'm a man of
Sorry
few
about that.
words. And then some even before that. I'm not a talker. I'm the shy guy in the corner. I wasn't going to say anything. However, with the last story, I'm from the class of 75. With the last story, I think Soprano was into firing, because in 9th grade, cross country, halfway through, we got into an argument where he told me point blank, "You have no guts. This is not for you. This is not your team." So I kind of mouthed back and said, I have no guts. He goes, no, you have no guts. You're out. Pack it up. So just as before, I kind of had come back begging because without the team, without Soprano, my teammates, I was incomplete. Incomplete. I actually carried that nickname, Larry Bobby, for how long? Over a year. My nickname was Guts because Soprano told me I didn't have any guts. So I kind of packed it up, and again, I don't remember how long it took, whether it was a day, couple of days. I went back saying, "Come on, I need back onto the team. I want to do this." And we did a little back and forth. You sure you want this? Are you going to cut it? Because he essentially told me he's going to be hard on me. And 2 years later, I became the captain of the cross country team. So I must have done something right.
Awesome.
So this before.
Right.
Here's the indoor 2-mile relay state championship, state record. Right.
Awesome.
Right there. The football team hooked in first place in the state in 75. Right. Actually, late 74. We picked this up indoors, 74 into 75. I still have the purple wave too. That I won.
Wow.
In all the championships that we had as seniors. So the key word I keep hearing from everyone, which I thought about right out the gate when the video started, was foundation. You helped me build a foundation of character that has stayed with me over all the years. The discipline, you taught discipline, you taught inner strength, determination, focus, and I think I still have it. It's because of you. So I want to say thank you.
Well said, Farrell.
Awesome.
Again, I'm happy you came back.
Awesome. All right.
I had some doubts shortly thereafter because you just had us running those hills around the back of the high school. But a lot of fun times, a lot of memories. A few others here. There are probably some things you don't want to know about. You're still here too because of you. Okay.
Well, you said to me just now that you wanted to be back, and that means a whole lot.
Yes.
That means a whole lot.
Absolutely.
So great.
Glad you
Super.
took me back. Glad you took me back.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we're making the round robin. The video is ready. However, if someone else wants to chime in, Harold, I've never known you to be a person that ever holds your tongue for anything. Okay.
I'm ready, baby.
There you go. All right, go ahead, Harold. You're on.
Hey, good evening, Coach Soprano and Mrs. Dale Soprano. How you doing? This is Harold McDonald.
Oh yeah.
Coach, I must say to you, man, you did a lot for me, bro. You did a lot. You know what I mean? When I first started running track, I was nothing. I ain't no superstar. I couldn't run. I couldn't do anything.
Guys, real quickly, we have someone with an open mic. Someone with an open mic. Not sure where it's coming from.
That's me.
Okay, yeah, just say put it on mute, Mike, because we're coming back to you. All right. Okay, go ahead, Harold.
Yeah, so Soprano, I'm telling you, thank you very much for everything you've done for me, boss. I wasn't a superstar like Stanley Stewart, Frankie Austin, and all of them, but you made me feel a part, boy. You made me feel a part of the track fraternity. I really respect you for that, and you helped me throughout my whole life, man. I mean, I wasn't one of them superstars like I told you. I didn't get the scholarship, but I know one thing. When I went to the Marine Corps after high school, I decided I wanted to run track. And when I ran track, I was a superstar in the Marines. and thanks to you, okay? And I remember when I first went out there to run and you got me running around the lakes, the Twin Lakes. And you said, listen, Harold, you're going to have to run cross country in order to get strong. That's what you said to me, Coach. And I really appreciated you. After that year, you put me, I was part of everybody. I ran with Steven, I ran with Jerry, I ran with all of them. Okay, so you put me part of the branch and I appreciate it. And I don't know if you know, but after I was in the Marine Corps, my brothers started running track. Marcellus is my brother and Courtney Allen is my brother. And they all ran for you. And they took all that because of what I told him. You're a great coach. So, and I respect you for that. And Ms. Deal, you look the same way. And I'm telling you, I don't know, you didn't even age.
Really?
That's why I always loved you.
That'd be the truth. That'd be the truth.
Yeah. So Soprano, I really appreciate it. And you look good, Soprano. I'm telling you. You look real good, man. You still looking good, man.
Older, that's all.
Both look
No,
good.
but you
Okay,
look
okay,
good. I'm telling
okay.
you, you look
Let's
real
solve
good.
the question. Let's solve the real elephant in the room. How old is Joe Soprano?
Not telling.
Come on now.
Well,
I was born in 37. How's that?
Oh, wow. Okay.
7/7/37.
And my lucky number is 7.
You was born on what? July 7th?
July 7th.
Oh, that's my birthday. I never knew me and you was born the same day.
There you
July
I knew there was a good reason.
Yeah, July, Soprano, my birthday is July 7th. Oh my gosh. Well, I'll never forget you, boss. Never. You're the best.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, check-in time here. We don't want to limit anyone being able to make a comment. There are a few things that we need to do today. If there's anyone else, or it's not limiting you again, that wants to make a comment, just
from the 90s that need
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
hop in here, Steve.
okay. Mike, Roach, I'm gonna come right back to you. Mike, I'll come right back to you.
Yeah, Mr. Spencer. Go ahead.
One second.
Hey, Coach Soprano, how you doing? Spencer from class of 92.
Oh yeah, remember
Awesome to
well.
see you guys on here. My brother was on here earlier, but he had to hop off. He's driving. I see it's a common theme. A lot of these people you pulled out. I was in baseball teams, doing track for staying in shape, and you ended up getting me focused on track and got me down to Houston. I'm still down here in Houston, and just had some awesome times with you, Coach. I remember when we did the interview with Bob, and you'd had me running with the Somers guys, and just some awesome times in my life, and I appreciate everything you've done for me, not just on the track, but in life. And you too, Mrs. Soprano. I remember you'd be at the meets as well, on the bus and everything. So awesome legacy to be part of. I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, I believe we have Mike Rocha. Someone's mic is open. It's got a lot of background noise coming in. Whoever it is, they just clipped it. Thank you. All right, Mike, go ahead, man.
All right, man. How are you? Everybody, hello. Coach, you are my coach forever, until I'm no more. If it weren't for you, oh man. I know you dug deep in me. And our host, I followed him along, man, my competition, his competition, basically. So basically, I try to mimic Mr. Strother through Coach Soprano. And Coach Soprano, you and Coach Henry, oh boy. I remember the pen relays. And myself, Calvin Whitfield, Lionel Sanabria, and one and only Mr. Pierre Mauger. Pen relays, last year that we had in Rochelle High School. Man, you guys made me feel like $1 million that day. Although we didn't win that R heat, but it was something else. Steve, man, I chased you. I'm still chasing you.
You can catch me easily now. I'm not that fast.
just quick, because I'm still in shape. Well, not all that shape, but I'm still there.
Good.
But, nevertheless, Coach, I really, really appreciated your dedication to all of us, what you've done for us. Basically, it's still in me. My ethics, as far as life is concerned, I base it on that. And if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be standing strong as I am to this day. So basically, I owe everything to you. And I will wholeheartedly say thank you. I do appreciate everything that you've done.
I thank you too.
Yes.
Thanks very much. I
do
appreciate
miss-
those words.
I do miss you. I even became a part of. They say it's a fraternity, but it's not. It's like more like a brotherhood, Brotherhood of Freemason, and those structured those ethics that you instill in us in high school. I bring that along into that organization, and it's put me in on a different bracket. So again, thank you, and thank you for everything that you did. And hello to your wife. Hello, Miss Deal.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing? Harold
All right,
McDowell.
thank
Good, sir. Thank you, Steve.
All right, thank you, Michael. All right. I'm sure everybody knows this. It's Valerie Soprano. Okay.
Big deal.
Valerie Deal
Big deal,
Soprano.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
So, does anyone else that want to, we want to, let everyone have an opportunity?
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Pierre.
Well, this is Mr. Soprano, Mrs. Soprano. It was a family, and for that, I thank you. The bus rides, the camaraderie, through good and bad, people had, we did well, so it was easier. We really didn't have many losing issues to deal with, and I think that helps. But when we did, we dealt with the adversity and we moved past it. Again, life lesson, and for that, I thank you. So, as we know, we all have adversities in life, so it's a matter of how you get past it.
True. You
Thank
said
you.
it right. That's the way to do it. Be tough, be strong.
Well,
Thank
you also
you.
have Miss Deal, and that was the other side of you, I guess. But
That was the good
all
side
in
of
all, we managed, and it was just
I do
heartfelt.
want to pay a tribute also to, oh God.
See, he looks at me for these things.
As you get older, you start to lose it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You have many years, many men and women.
You'll get back
Okay,
to
you
it.
want to say something?
I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Come back to it.
Okay. All right, guys, real quickly, my son is dropping in he wants to, out of the blue, he wants to say something. Come on down here. Come on, you come sit down here. Now you come, wait, so you can be seen. This is, he just dropped in and said he wanted to say something now, a little information about my son. Cole and I have been, had this track and field coach athlete relationship since age 5. And a lot of stuff that I learned right there with you, Coach Soprano, they go through it every day. They went through it today, actually, okay, at practice. But Cole is a 5-time national junior Olympian in the 400 meters. He's currently ranked number 9 in the nation for his event for age 13, 14. All right, but works really hard. But he wants to say something. I have no idea what he wants to say. Go ahead.
Thank you for coaching him. Most of the stuff he teaches me now is because of you. So thank you.
Well, I'm glad. He's a good man to follow. So keep listening, because he definitely knows what he's talking about.
And we're very proud of what we've heard about you already.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
All right.
I want to be around to see you get into the Olympics.
All right.
Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay. Cole's also, he's a scholar also. He's a straight A student. He's a year ahead, and he just got accepted into the Rockdale Magnet School, which is a joint venture between Georgia Tech's School of Engineering and Rockdale High School. So he just got accepted into that program.
Wow.
Awesome. Congrats.
Very good.
Steve, there's one more shy voice on here, very humble young man who I coached next to Coach Soprano, and he's definitely shy, few words, but I have to give him a shout out so he can say a couple of words, and he falls right in that category of having to come back, but not by quitting, by default of life, and so. He knows what I'm talking about, and he, all you gentlemen that are on this call are familiar with Frankie Austin in your time frame. And Frankie kind of ruled the long jump and held it down. But a lot of you have never been introduced to Adrian Cumberbatch, who is the current school record holder in the long jump. And
awesome. All right.
He established that, and I want him to say a couple of words. And Adrian is actually the reason why I stayed in coaching, because I was only supposed to be there that 1 week watching to see what talent was out there, because the middle schools got merged with the high school, and Coach Soprano asked me to look for some long jumpers, look for some hurdlers, and kind of, separate them. And I thought I was going to find some on the junior and senior level, but the one person that stood out was this 8th grader that flew outside of the whole field. And that was the reason I stayed. And the stories that we shared together are totally a whole nother level. But I would love for him to say he's the school record holder, Adrian Cumberbatch, and the state championship in 1995. So Adrian, send some words to Coach Soprano.
Oh. Hey, Soprano, how are you?
I'm doing good, Adrian. I've always wondered where you were and what you've been doing.
The only person
about all you guys, but Adrian, I had that real strong feeling that he was going to do well, and he certainly proved my point.
Yeah, Coach, you were my gym teacher in Isaac Young Middle School, and every time we would have field day, I would run around and jump, do the broad jump until you finally say, you know what? How about you come be on my team? I was like, no, I don't want to do. I just want to run the streets and hang out with my friends. But you kept pushing and pushing until I finally gave in. And
I think you jumped out of the pit.
Yeah, I did.
he jumped out of the pit.
Probably so.
Remember that term? You always used to call me meathead. But I think
that was a term of endearment.
Yes, of course, I know. I think between me, Patrick, and Carden that are on the call right now, we were your problem boys in the 90s. We gave you the most headache. I just want to say, thank you for keep on pushing us, and everything that you instilled at us, and all the pride that we have to be a part of the New Rochelle track team from the 70s all the way to the 90s. You really made a big impact in our lives. Definitely after you introduced me to Conrad as well. I mean, you two men definitely shaped me as a man and made me who I am today.
Did you show
proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think I came down to Maryland to see you when you were down there.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
You were where? Tell me where you were.
George Mason?
Yeah, no. Didn't I catch you on the basketball court?
Oh, yeah, you did. I love basketball. That was the thing. We always had to sneak around, make sure this left the building before we played.
All right. Adrian, I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy that you are in this call, because I always wondered what happened to Adrian. I lost touch, and good. And as I was starting to say before, I do have to make mention of coach for many, many years, my assistant coach, Oliver Henry. He was the good guy. I was the bad guy. Good guy, bad guy.
Ollie.
And Ollie was just terrific. And I was heartbroken when he didn't make it through. I don't know what it was, an operation or what, but I missed him tremendously. That's when I started looking around. Who am I going to pick on? Adrian. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Good meeting you, Adrian. Let's see. Is there Yawanta? I knew I wasn't gonna get off. There's no way that Yawanta's gonna be quiet. Okay.
Well,
Go ahead, you
I tend to be quiet for a minute anyway. Coach, I cannot tell you how much you have imparted so much power and an attitude of I can do whatever I want to do in me and the people that have surrounded me. I too coached for a short period of time. I was coaching the girls team at Duluth High School here in Georgia, and I got there was a long jumper. Her name's Dijinawa Watkins, and I coached her and said some of the same things that you and Mr. Henry told me all the time. She ended up getting a scholarship to and graduated from Michigan University because of her long jumping. But that's just one of the things, a small one of the things. When I was running, I never intended on running hurdles. I was playing around with him when Spider was running away from everybody. And you saw me playing around with him. Next thing you know, I'm hurdling. What's the word? The attitude and that you have imparted in us is something that continued on way beyond high school. I graduated from college and Steve was one of the first people I met when I came down here, and Steve was running open meets. I never even knew about an open meet. I ended up jumping. Now this is 87. What was it like? 8 years after high school, and I long jumped against this kid from Morehouse. I didn't think I was going to do anything. I ended up winning and jumping 25-11 and a half. I never jumped 25-11 and a half before. But it was just that I could believe that it could be done. And that kind of wisdom and belief that you instilled in us, it goes beyond everything that I could have ever done as far as track and field goes. And I just want you to take a look at the people that are on this call right now. Now, I don't know whether it was Conrad, you might have said that you're not in the 60s or something like that now, but I call it making it to the 6th floor. I made it to the 6th floor at the end of February. And look at all these folks. We don't look old.
Yeah.
We don't look old, including you, Coach. I never, ever, ever would have imagined. Track and field does something for you, and being under you as a coach, people just don't understand. We get into I'm sure we all have gotten into conversations about track and field, and then we start talking about what was going on in Rochelle High School. They just don't realize. They just don't realize the kind of power that we had in the teams that we had. Oh, and by the way, I heard something about what was it, the class of 74 being state champs? Well, I graduated in 79, but I was on the team of 78, which was state champs also. We cannot forget about that.
Yeah.
Can we, Pierre? Can we, Mike? Can we?
No,
Can
we
we,
can't.
Reggie?
Indoor and outdoor.
And we were champs all the way around.
That's
Indoor
right.
and outdoor.
Still champs.
Get out our way. New Row is here.
You're still champs.
All right.
We used to go downtown to Boys and Girls High, and I forget the team in
Jersey, Snyder.
yes, with the Gumby haircuts. They would
Yeah.
hit the turns like this. They didn't know anything about New Row because we were on the way. They had
guys-
no idea. They had
Guys,
no
real
idea.
quickly, just want to insert real quick. I'm looking at the time and want to make sure that we're able to wrap up on time. And then once we get to the wrap up piece, we can definitely open the floor and get some final comments in. But we still have the award ceremony. We have, oh, excuse me, did I let, what awards? I don't know any award ceremony. Anyway.
You are my reward.
Let that out of the bag. Okay, anyway, so we have the video, which I do have queued up. And let's see, I know there are a few people that haven't had an opportunity to say anything, but we could definitely get back to you. But just want to make sure we keep it moving and respect the time commitment that I made to everybody. So with that being said, we can segue right into the video. Or Coach, if you'd like to make some comments, or you can make some comments after we do something a little more, even more special than what you've received already. Okay.
Go right ahead.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt. Now you have no idea. I tried to set this. I've published this video like 4 or 5 times during this call, and I got it done perfectly. And then I noticed that we had the wrong soundtrack on. It was like really weak. So I said, no, I gotta redo this thing. So, all right, so we're gonna go ahead and queue it up. Let me do a screen share. Just let me see if I can get this queued. Okay, all right. Now I'm gonna do a screen share here. Hopefully everyone can see. Let me stop the share. Okay, all right. So now, with that being said, and if you guys have more pics, you can definitely send them. I can update the video and I can blast it out to everybody. All right. So that we will have it and we'll have a nice record of this ceremony. Now, down to the big presentation. Now, me and Miss Soprano, we've been working together. We've been conniving and all kinds of stuff. We've been hiding stuff. Yeah, we've been hiding stuff from you, Joe. We've been working together, and we had something. Yeah, we had something that was delivered to you. So this is our plaque ceremony. And now it takes a lot to get a plaque. So I'm trying to think. I think this plaque was done the day before yesterday. Yeah, it was done Thursday, and it arrived to your house on Friday. So the proof and the final product is going to be shown at the same time. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is the award to Coach Soprano. And I read it a little earlier, but you know something? I'm going to have Valerie do the honors of reading the award and making comments, and then Coach, you're going to chime in and make your comments. My wife actually wants to make a comment. I'll say that right at the end. She wants to say something, and if anyone else wants to make a comment, then we're going to wrap it up and we'll be done. All right, Valerie, you got it. You can read it there.
Okay, it says National Athlete and Coaches Hall of Fame, established 2021, inducts Coach Joe Soprano. To honor his 44-year coaching legacy in New Rochelle, New York, from 1958 to 2002, which produced multiple sectional, state, and regional championship teams, national champions, and college scholarship recipients under his leadership. In 1975, Coach Soprano led one of the country's best high school track programs, ranked #1 in the United States indoors and #2 outdoors by Track and Field News magazine. As a Manhattan College student, Joe Soprano ran the fastest time in the nation in the 1,000-yard race, placed second in the IC4A championships, and was a member of their world record 2-mile relay team. Coach Soprano, we are forever grateful to have had you as our coach. New Rochelle High School track and field alumni.
Thank you so much. Wow. That's what all that conversation, Steve.
That's right.
Very good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
If you can turn it around. Yeah, turn it around.
Here.
Valerie, if you can turn it around so that everyone can see. No one has seen it, so if you can turn around just in front of it.
How's this?
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
There you go. You just back it up. Pull it back. Pull it back.
Oh, pull it back.
There you go. All right.
Excellent.
Okay. Awesome. All right.
Excellent.
Coach.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome. All right, Coach, the floor is yours.
Can I butt in first?
Oh, that's right. Sorry about that.
Definitely.
Got putting you on the sideline again. No.
That's okay. I like it there. Just because of some of the things people said, I just wanted to say that I met Joe as I started my career as a first-year teacher at New Rochelle. And when I was introduced in the auditorium, when the teachers start right before the students, Joe was not really enamored with me. He thought my hair was too short and that I was too skinny. And of course, for the women on this call, there is no such thing as too skinny. So
you're looking pretty hard.
Then our schedules overlapped when we had third period free in the teachers' cafeteria. And then there was a need for a girls' track team and a girls' track coach. So the powers that be decided that Coach Soprano should ask the first year teacher to help out. So there was a knock on my classroom door, and I was teaching a shorthand class, and he asked, and my response was, the only thing that I know about track is how to spell it, that it involves running, and how to write it in shorthand. And he said, I'll teach you. So what I did learn is that Joe's greatest achievement revolved around track. It didn't matter whether it was sprinting or long distance or field events. He loved all of it. And he was always interested in getting the best from all of his runners. He took an interest from the beginning. He was always scouting for talent. He was always looking for a potential athlete. He looked at people from junior high school and high school, and then he tried to follow up on their careers into college. And he watched runners become coaches. And today is an indication of why I am so proud of him, why you are all so proud of him, and why you are also important to him. All of you are class acts. All of you are gold medal winners. And I cannot thank you enough for being who all of you are.
Well said.
And that's why I love her. I think I butted in a lot during the whole process. And I don't know if I could say anything differently, except that you've always been on my mind. When I saw you in person now, I mean, on the screen, I all those things, all that memory comes back. So I'm thank you, Steve. I appreciate everything that you've done. Conrad, thank you for being around all the time. Sometimes I bounce things off you that you probably said, what the hell, you're the coach. But you know what? Bobby and everybody that has gone into the field of coaching know what I'm saying. There's a lot of pride in you and what you've done and what you've accomplished. And more than anything else, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. So
thank you.
If any more than that.
Thank you. You are welcome. My wife wanted to make a comment, but I think she went to the ladies' room. I know I just did. Okay. So, all right. Well, we are down to the end here, and just want to thank everyone for coming through. I mean, we're a track club family, so we're all thanking each other. It was definitely a lot of fun. Coach Soprano, well deserved. And chiming in with what everyone else said. I know I'm currently a coach. That's for my passion project on the side. I coach the Blue Lightning Track Club, and these youngsters, we refer to them all as champions. They get some of the same workouts, with some tweaks, same regimen, but definitely the mindset, implementing the mindset with these little kids and letting them know that they are champions. Then we spend the entire season bringing that inner champion out of them. But, I definitely learned that at Rochelle High School. You had an amazing program, one of the best. And, one of the things when I was at Auburn University, we had all these kids that come in on scholarship all around the country. Everybody was the best at what they did, coming in on scholarship. And we basically would, be talking about our school programs and why our school programs were so great. And so we're going to go and wrap it up. Sean, you wanted to? Yeah. Okay, my wife just came in. My wife was not a sports person, but she has a little athlete in the house. Okay. All right. This is my wife, Sean.
Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure and an honor to connect with all of you. this afternoon. And I just want to say that Coach Soprano and Valerie, it's so wonderful meeting you, and it's wonderful meeting all of you. And you all have made such a lasting and positive impression in Stephen's life. And he has nothing but fond memories about his experience. And he talks about it all the time with just great joy and pride. And it just really, fills him up with just so many wonderful memories. And I've heard so much about all of you over the years. And I understand, after experiencing this, I understand why he feels the way that he does. So I just want you to know that he really, really appreciates the time that he had with all of you. And he just carries it with him every day.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so with that being said, if all hearts and minds are clear, I think we are at the end of our induction ceremony. Congratulations, Coach. You deserve it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody was awesome. It was just awesome. And we're going to go in and pull the plug.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Love you guys all. Keep in touch.
Amen. Thanks everybody for coming.
Thank you. All right. Take it easy.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Stay well, everyone.
This whole session was recorded, so as soon as I arc it down, I can definitely send a link out to everyone so they will have it.
Awesome.
Jim, I got your text. Awesome. All right.
Good seeing everybody.
Good, definitely.
Everybody.
Good seeing you. See you in a bit, man.
Everybody.
All right. Good to meet you, Adrian. Great to see you. Good to see you, Mike.
Coach Soprano.
Stuart, you don't age, man. You don't age. You do not age. What's up with that? I know people tell you, you look exactly the same. I mean, not exactly, but very close to it. You don't change at all. All right.
Steve, hey, Steve.
Yes.
I have my track shirt on. People mentioned it a couple times.
Stacy, good to
Okay.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
We're talking about the pride last longer than
Thank you. Absolutely.
Pride. Oh, that's nice.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Hey, Steve. Good, man. Thank you so much.
Nice. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, Coach.
All right, guys.
Coach.
See you, Val.
All right.
Bye, Mr. Soprano.
Y'all be blessed.
Bye-bye.
All right, one love.
One love, people. One love.
All right.
One love. Bless up.
All right.
Yo, Steve, that was good.
Yeah, that was a one. It was just great. It was we all just shared, and that's all it took. So it was
Excellent, man.
Well done, guys. Well done.
awesome. Awesome.
Can hear
Steve,
me.
I'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right, stay
Okay.
well, guys.
Okay, Mike, you looking good, Mike.
Hey
likewise, brother.
guys, real quickly, just keep in mind we are still recording, so it's recording everything that we have. Let me know if I need to turn off the recorder. Okay, that's it. So that's it. Great seeing you, Mike.
Hey, Mike, what part of Florida are you in?
Hey, Jerry, I reach out on Facebook to you, man.
Hey,
Facebook.
Mike, you in Florida?
I didn't hear you, Mike.
Yes, I live in Florida, Maitland.
Okay, I'm in Port St. Lucie.
Oh, okay, you ain't too far.
hey, Mike, real quickly. I received an invite from you from Facebook, and I sat on it for the longest time because I knew we were already Facebook friends. So I didn't know who was the real one or who was the fake one or whatever, but I'm glad you got this. Okay.
This face, and you know it's real.
All right, awesome.
Hey, Mike,
Great seeing you, man.
Mike, we're an hour and a half away from each other.
For sure, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I want to hit up.
I'm north of Tampa.
You told me a long time ago.
I'm gonna kill the recording real quickly.
says National Athlete and Coaches Hall of Fame, established 2021, inducts Coach Joe Soprano. To honor his 44-year coaching legacy in New Rochelle, New York, from 1958 to 2002, which produced multiple sectional, state, and regional championship teams, national champions, and college scholarship recipients under his leadership. In 1975, Coach Soprano led one of the country's best high school track programs, ranked #1 in the United States indoors and #2 outdoors by Track and Field News magazine. As a Manhattan College student, Joe Soprano ran the fastest time in the nation in the 1,000-yard race, placed second in the IC4A championships, and was a member of their world record 2-mile relay team. Coach Soprano, we are forever grateful to have had you as our coach. New Rochelle High School Track and Field alumni.
Thank you so much. Wow. That's what all that conversation, Steve.
That's right.
Very good. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
If you can
So
turn it
I'm
around, yeah, turn it around.
All here.
Valerie, if you can turn it around so that everyone can see. No one has seen it, so if you can turn around just in front of it.
How's this?
Yeah. All right.
There you go.
There you go. You just back it up, pull it back, pull it back.
Oh, pull it back.
There you go.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
Okay. Awesome. All right.
Excellent.
Coach.
Nice.
All right.
Awesome. All right, Coach, the floor is yours.
Can I butt in first?
Oh, that's right. Sorry about that.
Definitely.
Got putting you on the sideline again. No.
That's okay. I like it there. Just because of some of the things people said, I just wanted to say that I met Joe as I started my career as a first-year teacher at New Rochelle. And when I was introduced in the auditorium, when the teachers start right before the students, Joe was not really enamored with me. He thought my hair was too short and that I was too skinny. And of course, for the women on this call, there is no such thing as too skinny.
So you're looking pretty hard.
Then our schedules overlapped when we had third period free in the teacher's cafeteria. And then there was a need for a girls' track team and a girls' track coach. So the powers that be decided that Coach Soprano should ask the first-year teacher to help out. So there was a knock on my classroom door, and I was teaching a shorthand class, and he asked. And my response was, the only thing that I know about track is how to spell it, that it involves running, and how to write it in shorthand. And he said, I'll teach you. So what I did learn is that Joe's greatest achievement revolved around track. It didn't matter whether it was sprinting or long distance or field events. He loved all of it. And he was always interested in getting the best from all of his runners. He took an interest from the beginning. He was always scouting for talent. He was always looking for a potential athlete. He looked at people from junior high school and high school, and then he tried to follow up on their careers into college. And he watched runners become coaches. And today is an indication of why I am so proud of him, why you are all so proud of him, and why you are also important to him. All of you are class acts. All of you are gold medal winners. And I cannot thank you enough for being who all of you are.
Well said.
And that's why I love her. I think I butted in a lot during the whole process. And I don't know if I could say anything differently, except that you've always been on my mind. When I saw you in person now, I mean, on the screen, I all those things, all that memory comes back. So I'm thank you, Steve. I appreciate everything that you've done. Conrad, thank you for being around all the time. Sometimes I bounce things off you that you probably said, what the hell? You're the coach. But you know what? Bobby and everybody that has gone into the field of coaching know what I'm saying. There's a lot of pride in you and what you've done and what you've accomplished. And more than anything else, thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. So
thank you.
If any more than that.
Thank you. You are welcome. My wife wanted to make a comment, but I think she went to the ladies' room. I know I just did. Okay. So, all right. Well, we are down to the end here, and just want to thank everyone for coming through. I mean, we're a track club family, so we're all thanking each other. It was definitely a lot of fun. Coach Soprano, well deserved. And chiming in with what everyone else said. I know I'm currently a coach. That's for my passion project on the side. I coach the Blue Lightning Track Club, and these youngsters, we refer to them all as champions. They get some of the same workouts, with some tweaks, same regimen, but definitely the mindset, implementing the mindset with these little kids and letting them know that they are champions. Then we spend the entire season bringing that inner champion out of them. But, I definitely learned that at Rochelle High School. You had an amazing program, one of the best. And, one of the things when I was at Auburn University, we had all these kids that come in on scholarship all around the country. Everybody was the best at what they did, coming in on scholarship. And we basically would, be talking about our school programs and why our school programs were so great. And so we're going to go and wrap it up. John, you wanted to?
Yeah.
Okay, my wife just came in. My wife was not a sports person, but she has a little athlete in the house. Okay. All right. This is my wife, Sean.
Hello, everyone. It is such a pleasure and an honor to connect with all of you this afternoon. And I just want to say that Coach Soprano and Valerie, it's so wonderful meeting you, and it's wonderful meeting all of you. And you all have made such a lasting and positive impression in Stephen's life. And he has nothing but fond memories about his experience. And he talks about it all the time with just great joy and pride. And it just really, fills him up with just so many wonderful memories. And I've heard so much about all of you over the years. And I understand, after experiencing this, I understand why he feels the way that he does. So I just want you to know that he really, really appreciates the time that he had with all of you. And he just carries it with him every day.
Thank you, sweetie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so with that being said, if all hearts and minds are clear, I think we are at the end of our induction ceremony. Congratulations, Coach. You deserve it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Everybody was awesome. It was just awesome. And we're going to go in and pull the plug.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Love you guys all. Keep in touch.
Amen. Thanks everybody for coming.
All right.
Thank you. All right. Take it easy.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
Stay well, everyone.
Giuseppe.
This whole session was recorded, so as soon as I arc it down, I can definitely send a link out to everyone so they will have it.
I'll send it to you when I get
Awesome.
Jim, I got your text. Awesome.
Peace and
All
love.
right.
Good seeing everybody.
Okay,
Good seeing
definitely.
everybody.
Good seeing you, Soprano. See you in a few years, man.
Bless up.
All right.
Adrian, Gordon.
Good to meet you, Adrian. Great to see you.
Love.
Good to see you, Mike.
Coach Soprano.
Stuart, you don't age, man. You don't age. You do not age. What's up with that? I know you. People tell you look exactly the same. I mean, not exactly, but very close to it. You don't change at all. All right.
Steve, Steve.
Yes.
I have my track shirt on. People mentioned it a couple times.
Stacy, good to
Okay.
see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
We're talking about the pride last longer than
Thank you. All right, absolutely.
Pride. Oh, that's nice.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Hey, Steve, good man. Thank you so much.
Nice. All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
All right, Coach.
All right, guys.
Bye. Coach.
See you, Val.
Bye, Mr. Soprano.
Y'all be blessed.
Bye-bye.
All right.